Okay, so here's my tutorial for Fenrir. You're going to want to have a party of Balthier, Ash, and Penelo. It is absolutely vital that Balthier is not any higher than level 12. And the reason for that is we're using a glitch here called the underflow glitch, which makes, how the underflow glitch works is that based off a stat calculation in this game, if the output of that stat calculation ends up being less than 0, the game treats it as 100%. And the stat calculation we're talking about here is the odds of a status ailment hitting an enemy. And Balthier cannot be any higher than level 12, or otherwise the underflow does not work. So make sure that he's no higher than level 12. So just for reference, Ash and Penelo are going to have flame staves on with their normal equipment, and their gambits are going to be set for bio. Okay? Alright, so what we're going to do here is, I mean, you can do these, I mean, the closer to these door you do these buffs, the better, but it doesn't really matter. So what you're going to do is you're going to have Ash cast Decoy on Balthier. Once Decoy is halfway... Okay, I don't know what my battle speed's on slow. Put that on the highest. Okay, so you want to cast Decoy on Balthier. Once Decoy charges halfway, that's when you're going to want to reflect Balthier as well. Alright, once both of those land, then you're going to want to do kind of the same thing, except Decoy, you're going to use Immobilize and use that for Redis. Once Immobilize charges halfway, that's when you're going to want to cast Reflect on Redis. Alright, once both of those land, you're going to want to take off Ash's Ruby and Penelo's Ruby Rings to get rid of your Reflect status. And then, at that time, you're going to want to use Penelo to crit down the Ash and Penelo, and make sure you select Ash, because again, if you select yourself while critting down, you will kill the other person due to Spellbreaker. And since we cast Reflect on Balthier and Redis here, they won't get hit by that Thundara. But you do need Reflect for the fight, so don't just do it just because of that. So then after they're critted down, just put on their Ruby Rings. And the last thing, you're going to want to go ahead and prime sleep. If I ever say prime something, that means you're going to want to leave the cursor on it, because this game uses a memory cursor if you have that setting on, so that once the fight starts, you have sleep ready to go. So you just want to make sure you have sleep primed, and then after that, you're ready to go. You don't have to hit read inscription there, just hit open door. That was my bad. Okay. So that there's two things you're going to want to have immediately at the start of this fight, or three things rather. You should come into this fight with Ash and Penelo's gambits on, but if you don't, just turn them on immediately. The first thing you're going to want to do is use sleep immediately, and as soon as you use sleep, you're going to need to walk backwards with Balthier, and you'll see why here in a second. Alright, now as you can see, if you do that correctly, once the sleep cast goes off, Fenrir will stay put. If you don't cast sleep immediately, he'll either A, end up hitting Balthier. Well, yeah, he'll end up hitting Balthier and you won't be able to get sleep off. The run is fucked. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you run back as soon as you hit that sleep. So once he is asleep, you're going to want to bring Balthier over here to the ladies, because Balthier has Reflect on, so he will get credit for that with the Reflect casts. Now, just like with the Shemazai fight, you're going to want to make sure sleep hits at least one more time just as a safety thing. So I usually do it about when his health is about halfway down. Again, it's just to make sure that he does stay asleep, and the amount of time that you lose is the amount of time it takes to hit 4 X's or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So again, you can keep casting as many times as you want, but that's just the thing. And the other thing is, the reason that we immobilize Redis here is so that he can't attack Fenrir. If we didn't immobilize Redis, he would start attacking Fenrir, and attacking someone puts them out of sleep, and then Fenrir would just wail on our party. So that's the reason we make sure that he's immobilized, but since he does have Reflect on, he does get credit for the damage. And there you go, that's Fenrir. Like I said, it's just really important to make sure that you walk backwards so that Balthier doesn't get hit. But yeah, that's Fenrir.